Welcome back. President Cyril Ramaphosa announced during his opening of Parliament address that the Government of National Unity will prioritise three key areas. That's fostering inclusive growth and job creation, reducing poverty and the high cost of living, and also building a capable, ethical and developmental state. Now, these policy frameworks for the 7th administration were received with mixed reactions. As such, on Monday, Ramaphosa will respond to some of the concerns raised by MPs during the debate on Friday. Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo is at the Cape Town City Hall and joins us now to discuss Ramaphosa's possible response. Juniour, take us back to some of the key issues the president spoke about.
Indeed, Nhlanhla, the president on Thursday actually delivered that much-anticipated opening of Parliament address where he basically outlined some of the policy frameworks for this 7th administration. As you've already indicated, one of those priority areas that the president actually spoke about was ensuring that he deals with the high unemployment that the country is currently facing. According to Stats SA, the unemployment rate in South Africa currently stands at about 40%. So the president really speaking about that issue and saying that unemployment is one of those issues that he really wants to deal with. He also spoke about trying to cut the high cost of living that a lot of South Africans are actually basically facing in this country. Let's just take a listen to what President Cyril Ramaphosa had to say when he spoke during that opening of Parliament address.
The Government of National Unity has resolved to dedicate the next 5 years to actions that will advance three strategic priorities. Firstly, to drive inclusive growth and job creation. Secondly, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living. And thirdly, to build a capable, ethical and developmental state. We have decided to place inclusive economic growth at the center of the work of the Government of National Unity and at the top of our national agenda. Our experience over the past 30 years has shown that when our economy grows, jobs are created. When our economy contracts, there is no job creation. And in fact, some jobs are lost.
Members of Parliament actually on Friday had an opportunity to engage the President on his opening of Parliament address that he had delivered. And as was to be expected, there was a lot of opposition to some of the policy frameworks that he outlined. In particular, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, led by its leader in Parliament, former Judge John Hlophe, they indicated that the ANC actually in going into partnership with parties such as your Democratic Alliance as well as the Freedom Front Plus had actually sold out, and they indicated that they actually were going to advocate for different policies within this current administration. One such is the expropriation of land without compensation. We know that they are not the first party actually to call for land expropriation without compensation. The EFF is also one of those parties that have actually called for the expropriation of land. So the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, including with the EFF and 4 other parties calling themselves the Progressive Forum, are actually going to be pushing for this amendment to Section 25 of the Constitution. In particular, they're unhappy about Section 1 of that Section 25 and Section 2B and Section 3 of that particular provision of the Constitution, saying that it actually allows individuals who acquired land through apartheid and colonialism to retain the land. So they want changes to those particular sections. But also we did hear the EFF leader, Julius Malema, indicating that there were some policy frameworks that the president did not address, in particular when it comes to foreign policy. Let's take a listen to what the EFF leader, Julius Malema, had to say.
You said nothing about international relations while we are living in a world defined by shifting global balance of forces. The West, under the guidance and protection of the United States of America, is agitating for a world war, which will be defined by recolonization of the African continent and the global South. And you never said anything about that. There is an ongoing aggressive war by apartheid Israel over Palestine, and you never said anything about that because your coalition partners are all fanatics of a Zionist apartheid Israel.
But Juniour, the GNU partners came to Ramaphosa's defense. The IFP president and new cooperative governance minister, Belenkosini Hlabisa, praised Ramaphosa's address, saying it hit the right mark. Now, Hlabisa also stressed that economic growth hinges on the efficient functioning of local government. And meanwhile, DA leader John Steenhuisen pointing out that the 2024 national and provincial elections, which led to the formation of this multi-party government, offers a significant opportunity for the country to carve what he calls a new path forward. Let's take a listen.
But the 2024 election, where the people of South Africa chose a new path, by not giving any party a majority and forcing us to create a multi-party government, offers us the most important opportunity and the most powerful opportunity in recent history to overcome the suffocating grip that the breakers have held on our economy and society. The Government of National Unity is South Africa's chance to free itself from populism, division, and economic decline. This is our opportunity now to build South Africa into the prosperous country that we know it can be together.
That is the leader of the Democratic Alliance. They're basically supporting the president, saying that the GNU is an opportunity for South Africans actually to work together and ensure that all of the challenges that have continued to plague South Africans, even 30 years into democratic South Africa, will be addressed. It's a very different picture this time around. We know that in the 6th administration, the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, would be the one basically opposing any policy position proposed by the ANC, but this time around, the policy positions of the 7th administration actually coming from the ANC, the Democratic Alliance, and all of the parties that are included in that Government of National Unity. But also, despite this support to the president, there are also some reservations from the Democratic Alliance and other parties within the GNU, especially when it comes to policies around the healthcare. We know that there's some opposition when it comes to the NHI bill as it currently stands, as well as the Bella bill when it comes to education, that the Democratic Alliance and other parties within that GNU still want the governing ANC to look into those policies and make a few changes before it is adopted into law.
Now, Juniour, I also want us to hear on electricity or energy-related matters. And the Energy Minister, Cyril Ramaphosa, was last week speaking during the debate on Friday. Now, he began his comments by hitting back at the MK Party's John Hlophe over his comments on the election results. Let's listen in.
And I want to say the following to the previous speaker, that I think he'll be served exceptionally well by directing the arguments against the IEC to the Electoral Court. So I really want to pursue you, not to withdraw the case, but to pursue that case, and hopefully you'll be able to prevail.
A very heated debate indeed on Friday that we saw as these MPs basically went back and forth with some from the GNU in particular supporting those policy positions, including Ramaphosa, as you just heard him there, taking on the leader of the official opposition, which is Umkhonto weSizwe. We know that the MK Party has been saying that they do not accept the results of these elections as they were declared after the 29th of May elections. They are still saying that they are going to go to the Electoral Court to try and challenge those results. And Ramaphosa, they're just saying that he should take those results under review and see whether the Electoral Court will support some of these issues that they were raising. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party have not produced any of the evidence that they had indicated that they have. So we are yet to see whether they are going to finally produce that evidence in court when they do approach the Electoral Court.
Thanks a lot to our reporter. Juniour Khumalo is out at the Cape Town City Hall, and he just gave us that comprehensive report of what to expect, of course, when President Cyril Ramaphosa responds to various inputs by MPs which were raised last week.